Today, I'm going to answer a question so many people have after a breakup, and that is my ex gone for good, or is there a chance they'll come back? So, whether you're hoping for a reunion or just trying to move on, this video or podcast is for you, so stay tuned. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. Welcome back, my beautiful no contact army. Have you been a good little soldier and stayed in no contact? Well, if you were a bad little soldier, you can download my app Silencio, and it will help you stay in no contact. And the link to that is underneath every single video and podcast. And if you too want to join our no contact army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. Okay, so let's talk about why this question even pops into our heads. Breakups leave us with uncertainty. Our brains crave closure. So if things ended abruptly or feelings were still strong, which they usually are, then it's natural to wonder, since there's unfinished business. Plus, nostalgia can trick us into remembering only the good times and making us second guess if the breakup was the right call. And we should actually be happy that it ended. Years ago, I found out that the guy I'd been in a long-term relationship with was cheating. And, we're both Sagittarians, and Sagittarians are known for their honesty. So I said to him, "Are you cheating?" And he said, "Yes." Well, thank you. Thanks for your honesty. It's like, hey, you might be a cheater, but you're not a liar. But anyways, it was not a good relationship, so I should have been happy, right? I should have been celebrating. It's like, yes, it's over. It's over. But no, I wanted him back. And I've told the story before of where I had to go to Vegas shortly after that. And I went to one of those wonderful Vegas buffets, which you can't really find anymore. And out of all that wonderful food I could have eaten, all I had on my plate were crab legs. Okay? So that's why I say emotions don't have an IQ. Feelings are not logical. Because if they were, I would have been like, yes, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to eat everything in this buffet. But no, all I had were 2 little crab legs. So here's the thing. Not all exes come back, and not all of them should. So how do you know which category yours falls into? So let me start with the bad news. Let's talk about the signs that your ex has truly moved on. Number 1, they've completely cut contact. So they've blocked you everywhere, and there's no responses to messages if you've reached out for whatever reason. Because if they wanted to reconnect, they would leave at least one line of communication open. Obviously, they can't block you on email, but other than that, everything else is closed. 2, they're dating someone else seriously. So if they're in a new relationship and they seem happy, or they're in a committed long-term relationship, then they're likely not coming back. Now, of course, there is an exception. First of all, if it's a rebound, then you have a much better chance of getting them back. That's why I said if they seem happy or it's a committed long-term relationship. But one of my clients, he was broken up with, and his ex quickly married someone else. And I mean within a month, okay? So, of course, it didn't work out, and he heard from her within a few months. So exceptions like that, yeah. But how often does that happen, right? Hopefully not too often. Number 3, they've told you it's over for good. So clear statements like, "We're never getting back together," or "I don't love you anymore." Probably not going to come back. However, again, an exception, because people say all kinds of things after a breakup. A lot of times out of anger or hurt or frustration, they say, "It's over. I never want to see you again. We're never getting back together." And then you get back together. So there's still hope sometimes. Number 4, they've moved away or they've made big life changes. So they have a new job in another city or another country. They've deleted old photos or removed traces of your relationship. Then, yeah, chances are not looking good. Number 5, the relationship was toxic. So if it was an on again, off again relationship, or trust was broken or resentment built up, then the chances are slim that they'll return. So those are some of the reasons. Not all, but some. So now that I've told you the reasons why they won't return and you're totally depressed, let me give you the reasons why your ex might still have feelings and could return. 1, they keep in touch. So random texts, checking in, liking your posts, that means that they still care on some level. It doesn't mean that you have to respond. And in fact, you shouldn't respond because you're supposed to be in no contact and not respond to breadcrumbs. But yeah, if they're still hanging around somehow, then there's still some interest there. But it still could be guilt or nostalgia. 2, they get jealous or ask about your dating life. So if they react when you mention someone new, they might still have feelings for you. But again, this is only if somehow you're in contact. So if you have kids together, if you work together, go to school together, whatever, and you talk to them. Otherwise, you're not supposed to be talking to them. Number 3, the breakup was emotional, not logical. So it was a heat of the moment fight versus a calm, well thought out breakup. So emotional breakups have a much higher chance of reconciliation. You'll hear from them usually within a few weeks or even a few days, and that's a good sign. If they broke up with you out of the blue, they got upset during a fight, like, that's it, it's over, we're done. And then they think about it and they're like, oops, what did I do? And then they come back. Number 4, they haven't fully let go. So they still have your stuff. They're bringing up memories. They're saying things like, well, maybe in the future. That's a good sign. They mention missing you. In fact, one of my clients just last night got a text from the ex saying, miss you. Or even casual comments like, I miss your laugh. So that hints at lingering feelings still being there. The next one is that they're single and they're not moving on. So if they're avoiding new relationships, they could still be processing the breakup, which is a great sign for you. And then finally, the last one, the breakup was circumstantial. So distance, timing, or external pressures like family or work sometimes change, and that makes getting back together possible. Or if you were married and they broke up with you because they thought that you were never going to leave your husband or leave your wife, and now you've moved out or you've filed for divorce, then you do have a chance to get them back. And I mention this because, hey, some of my clients have been married. What can I say? But, and this is key, don't read into breadcrumbs. If they're not making a real effort to reconnect, then it's just comfort and nostalgia, not love. So what should you do? Well, unless you cheated or took your ex for granted, which means that they didn't feel like they were a priority, they didn't feel important, then you have to stay in no contact until they say something significant. You're not interested in breadcrumbs. You want the whole loaf. At the end of the day, only time will tell if your ex comes back. But your focus, in the meantime, should always be on you, not waiting around for someone who may or may not return. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these signs have you heard or seen from your ex? And if you want my help to determine what your chances are of getting your ex back, you can contact me for coaching at theartoflove.net/coaching, and we will send you the rates, and the direct link to that is underneath every single video and podcast. If you found this video helpful, then please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast and you want to help the show, then just download this episode And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.